A dimly lit hospital parking lot at dawn, the faint cries of a baby echo in the silence. Dr. Robert Morris had just finished a grueling night shift at Harmony General Hospital. His feet ached. His mind begged for rest, but something stopped him in his tracks. A sound, a soft, helpless cry cutting through the quiet morning air. Robert turning his head, listening intently. His heartbeat quickens. At first, he thought he was imagining it, but then, there it was again. A baby's cry, weak and distant. His pulse raced as he followed the sound, leading him to a shadowed alcove near the hospital's side entrance. A tiny bundle on the cold concrete. A frail baby wrapped in nothing but a thin, worn-out blanket. Dr. Morris's breath hitched. He had seen abandoned cases before, but this was different. The baby was shivering, his cries faint, his tiny hands barely moving. Kneeling down, Robert scooped him up, his instincts kicking in immediately. Inside the hospital, nurses gasp as Robert rushes in with the baby. "Get me a warm towel. Call security. We need to check for dehydration." Robert barked orders, his exhaustion forgotten. As he examined the infant, his experienced eyes noticed something unusual. Wasn't responding to movement. His tiny pupils remained still. The baby lying in an incubator as medical staff bustle around. Blind. The child was most likely blind from birth. But that wasn't what broke Robert's heart. It was the note they found tucked inside the blanket. A crumpled piece of paper, shaking in Robert's hands. "We can't care for him. We're sorry." Robert staring at the note, jaw clenched. A painful memory of his own childhood flashes in his mind. A father who walked away. A mother who worked tirelessly to keep him afloat. He had always fought for children who had no one, but this wasn't just another case. This felt personal. Days passing. Robert spends every free moment with the baby, now named Ben. He sang to him, cradled him, held his tiny fingers, promising in silent whispers that he was safe now. The nurses saw the change in Robert, how he looked at Ben not as a patient, but as something more. Social worker Ms. Thompson sits across from Robert in his office. "We haven't found any relatives. If no one steps forward soon, he'll enter the foster system." Robert's grip tightening on his pen, a flicker of hesitation. Then, resolve. "What if I took him in?" Ms. Thompson's stunned expression. "Dr. Morris, you mean foster him? Yourself?" It wasn't a whim. It wasn't even a decision anymore. It was a calling. Robert adjusting to fatherhood. Sleepless nights, late-night bottle feedings, cradling Ben as he cries. The first nights were chaos. Ben flailed in the darkness, crying for comfort in a world he couldn't see. Robert, exhausted but determined, rocked him gently, humming lullabies until the tiny body relaxed against his chest. Ben growing, learning to navigate spaces by touch, responding to Robert's voice, smiling every time he hears his father's footsteps. As the months turned into years, Robert wasn't just a foster parent. He was Ben's father. The day he signed the final adoption papers, he knew this was his son. 9 years later, Ben, now a bright and confident boy, walks beside Robert, gripping his guiding hand. Life had settled into something beautiful, but peace never lasts forever. Robert's phone buzzing. Caller ID, Ms. Thompson. "Robert, there's someone who wants to meet Ben." His biological father, Robert's face hardening, the past rushing back like a storm. The man who had abandoned Ben, the man who had left him in the cold. Now, after 9 years, he wanted a place in his life, a small cafe. Robert and Ben sit across from a nervous-looking man, Mark Thompson, the biological father. His hands trembled as he spoke. "I did a terrible thing. I was scared. My wife, we weren't strong enough, but I never forgot him." Robert's clenched fists. Ben, listening intently. "You left me." Ben's voice was steady, but there was hurt underneath. "I don't expect forgiveness overnight, but if you'll let me, I'd like to know him." Silence. A heavy, suffocating silence. Robert's heart waged war. Protectiveness, anger, but also understanding. He looked at Ben. "Your call, son." Ben hesitating. Then he nods. "We can try, but it'll take time." Mark visiting under Robert's watchful eye. Small conversations. Ben showing Mark his braille books, his music collection. Trust, slow and cautious, beginning to form. Thanksgiving dinner. Mark, invited by Ben, stands to speak. "Robert, you saved my son's life. You gave him the love I couldn't." Robert's eyes glistening, Ben smiling, a newfound understanding settling between them all. And as Mark slipped a tiny photo into Ben's hands, a picture of baby Ben wrapped in that same thin blanket, it was clear. This story wasn't just about loss, it was about second chances. Ben, running his fingers over the photo, whispering, "I guess I appreciate knowing where I came from." Fade to black. Some stories don't end where they begin, and sometimes the family we choose is just as powerful as the one we're born into. What would you do in Robert's place? Drop your thoughts in the comments.